Argentina are through to the round of 16, but let's be honest, that did not look like a team cruising toward another World Cup title. That looked like a team hanging on for dear life. For 120 exhausting minutes in Miami, Cabo Verde pushed the reigning champions to the absolute limits. The smallest nation ever to reach the World Cup knockout stage refused to accept their role as the underdogs. Twice they came from behind, twice they stunned Argentina, and with penalties just around the corner, they genuinely believed history was within touching distance. Then came one moment, one corner, one header, one cruel deflection. Cristian Romero became Argentina's hero, and Cabo Verde's incredible dream came to an end. Final score, Argentina 3, Cabo Verde 2, and we may have just witnessed the game of this tournament. Everybody expected Argentina to control this match, and for the first half an hour, everything followed the script. Lionel Messi looked comfortable. Argentina dominated possession. The movement was sharp, the passing was clean, and the world champions seemed completely in control. Then came the breakthrough. Lisandro Martinez spotted Messi's run and delivered a brilliant pass through the defense. Messi did the rest. One touch, one finish, no panic whatsoever. 1-0 Argentina. At that moment, most people probably thought the game was over, but Cabo Verde never got that message. They came out for the second half with a completely different mentality. More aggressive, more confident, more willing to take risks, and suddenly Argentina looked uncomfortable. Leroy Duarte changed everything. His strike into the bottom corner sent shockwaves through the stadium and reminded everyone that football rarely follows the script. 1-1, and from that moment onward, Argentina were under genuine pressure. The atmosphere changed. The confidence changed. The tension became impossible to ignore. You could see it in every challenge and every misplaced pass. The favorites suddenly looked vulnerable. If Cabo Verde have a national hero after this tournament, his name is Vozinha. The veteran goalkeeper was absolutely sensational. Time after time, he kept Argentina frustrated. Big saves, strong handling, perfect positioning. He gave his teammates belief. And that's the most important thing a goalkeeper can do in a match like this. When your keeper keeps producing miracles, the entire team starts believing that something special is possible. That is exactly what happened. Argentina kept pushing. Cabo Verde kept resisting. 90 minutes passed, still level, still fighting, still dreaming, and honestly, by that point, the entire football world was behind them. Then came extra time, and somehow the match became even better. Lisandro Martinez, who had already assisted Messi's opener, put Argentina back in front, 2-1. Surely that was it. Surely the champions had finally broken Cabo Verde's spirit. Not even close. Sidney Lopez Cabral produced one of the moments of the tournament, an incredible finish, absolute composure, 2-2. The underdogs had done it again. At that point, penalties felt inevitable. Argentina looked tired. Cabo Verde looked fearless, and history was only minutes away. Football can be beautiful. Football can also be cruel. Deep into extra time, Argentina won a corner. Messi walked over to take it. One final opportunity, one final chance to avoid penalties. Cristian Romero attacked the delivery perfectly. The header was powerful. The movement was excellent. And then came the deflection. Dini Borges could do absolutely nothing about it. The ball found the net. 3-2. Game over. Just like that, an entire nation's dream disappeared. That is the brutality of knockout football. One moment defines everything. One small touch changes history, and for the first time all night, Cabo Verde had no response left. Of course, Lionel Messi played a huge part in this victory because when Argentina needed leadership, he provided it. The opening goal was classic Messi. Simple, efficient, clinical, no wasted movement, no unnecessary touches, just pure quality. Then came the corner that created the winner, another decisive contribution on the biggest stage. But what impressed me most wasn't the attacking numbers, it was everything else, the work rate, the leadership, the willingness to fight for every loose ball deep into extra time. At 39 years old, he was still tracking back and helping his teammates through difficult moments. That matters because great players do more than score goals. They carry responsibility, and tonight Messi carried plenty of it. That said, this was far from a perfect Argentine performance. Their defense looked vulnerable. The midfield lost control for long stretches, and mentally, they looked rattled whenever Cabo Verde built momentum. Those are problems that cannot be ignored. The good news is obvious. Argentina are still alive. That's all that matters in knockout football. Nobody remembers how you survive if you eventually lift the trophy, but there are warning signs everywhere. 120 minutes this early in the knockout stage is far from ideal. The players looked exhausted, the legs were heavy, and now Egypt await in Atlanta. On paper, Argentina remain heavy favorites. The talent gap is undeniable. The experience is undeniable. Messi is still Messi. But after tonight, nobody will take anything for granted, because Cabo Verde exposed weaknesses that other teams will absolutely study. If Egypt believe, if they stay organized, if they frustrate Argentina the way Cabo Verde did, who knows what might happen? That is the beauty of tournament football. Every victory creates new questions. And finally, let's talk about Cabo Verde, because their World Cup story deserves enormous respect. They are the smallest country ever to reach this stage of the competition. Nobody expected them to compete with Argentina. Almost nobody expected them to score twice, and certainly nobody expected them to push the world champions into extra time, but they did all of it. They played without fear, they played with pride, and they earned the respect of football fans everywhere. Sometimes you don't need to win to create history. Sometimes the fight itself becomes the legacy. Cabo Verde leave this tournament with their heads held high, and honestly, they should be incredibly proud of what they achieved. If you predicted this scoreline before kickoff, let us know in the comments. Did Argentina survive a warning they desperately needed? Or is this the first sign that their World Cup defense might be in real danger? Subscribe to Last Touch so you don't miss our full preview of Argentina against Egypt. And next up, we're breaking down Brazil against Norway. Can Erling Haaland shock another South American giant? We'll find out together. See you in the next one.